that Prince Harry is planning a shameless return to the UK in 2026 with a plan to, and I quote, sow the seeds for a semi-permanent return to his country.
Harry is on the verge of some type of serious meltdown here. We saw it with a quite deranged statement released to try and say
something in Prince Harry has shifted, and the internet felt it instantly. For months, people joked about distance, tension, or exhaustion. But when Harry released that long, emotional Remembrance Day essay, the tone changed. His words didn't read like a polished royal statement. They read like a man trying to hold himself together.
In love and trust, they shall be united with one another in heart, body, and mind, as Christ is united with his bride, the Church. The gift of marriage brings husband and wife together in the delight and tenderness of sex.
Out of nowhere, Harry, who once claimed he'd never return to the UK, began speaking about Britain with a warmth he hasn't shown in years. He wrote about pride, about loyalty, about memories he once dismissed, and that alone sent social media into chaos. Viewers noticed details that didn't fit the Harry they've seen since 2020. One line stood out. He said he may currently live in the United States.
Duchess of Sussex will step down from all future royal duties. It was confirmed that the couple will lose their public funding and no longer use their royal titles.
Well, last night, Prince Harry addressed the situation in public.
That tiny phrase became explosive. It didn't sound stable. It didn't sound confident. It sounded like someone hinting at a life he's not sure he wants anymore. Within hours, posts started spreading calling him lost, homesick, and even on the verge of a total emotional break. Some users went as far as claiming he looked like a man who can't take it anymore.
What I want to make clear is, we're not walking away. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding.
And behind all the dramatic comments, one idea kept repeating: Harry might finally be reaching his limit. But this moment wasn't random. It didn't come out of thin air. It was the result of years of pressure that's finally cracking through the surface. And the next signs of that unraveling were even more alarming. Right after the essay went viral, old rumors suddenly roared back to life. Talks about a semi-permanent return to the UK in 2026 resurfaced everywhere. Messages from so-called insiders, old tabloid predictions, and fresh social media theories all collided into one loud narrative. Harry wants to go home, badly. What made people take it seriously this time wasn't just the rumor, it was the wording.
It was unprecedented. There was a public backlash, not against their decision to step back. I think there's huge sympathy for the idea that they weren't happy and that they want to live a more peaceful life, as it was put in that statement.
Behavior experts began dissecting that one strange phrase. Though I may currently live in the United States, according to them, nobody uses may currently unless they're emotionally conflicted. It's the type of phrasing someone uses when they're physically in one place, but mentally somewhere else. It creates the sense of a man who's torn, restless, and quietly longing for the life he left behind.
Presents a shock reversal of Megxit when the Sussexes relinquished their HRH titles, his and her Royal Highness, and moved to North America.
Fans noticed something else too. His tone about the UK has completely flipped. This is the same Harry who once said he didn't miss anything except the sky. Now, suddenly, he can't stop praising the country, praising its people, praising the identity he once pushed away. Even critics, who usually never agree with fans, started echoing the same sentiment. He's not doing well.
The Royalist, where Tom Sykes writes, Prince Harry has inadvertently sparked speculation about plans long denied by his team, that he one day plans to return to the UK by saying he currently lives in the US.
Something's off. And that's when the deeper question took over the conversation. Why is Harry's emotional shield slipping now? Why, after years of defiance, does he suddenly sound like he's begging the UK to take him back? Some believe it's guilt, others think it's fear, and a growing number think it's something much darker, a moment where the pressure finally snapped. But as intense as all of this sounded, it was nothing compared to the storm building around his marriage. And that part is where everything truly starts to unravel. For years, Harry and Meghan tried to present a united front. Smiles, hand-holding, dramatic speeches about fighting the system together. But behind the polished photos and carefully crafted statements, the cracks were widening. And lately, those cracks have turned into full-blown fractures that the public can't ignore.
You replied, F-O, Harry, but you added, Harry wants to go back to the UK so bad, it's scary. he's on the verge of a mental breakdown.
Harry's emotional shift didn't happen in isolation. It's tied to something much heavier, the weight of the marriage itself. Ever since their wedding in 2018, Meghan has been at the center of non-stop headlines. Not the glamorous kind, the kind that drag both of them into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Controversies, public outcry, feuds, scandals. It never ended.
I mean, Harry's language about the United Kingdom has totally changed. Do you remember he wouldn't used to praise the United Kingdom at all? It was like, no, LA is my home. You know, I'm never ever going back. He was pretty negative about it, or he couldn't even say anything positive. So, Stephanie, what's your reading on this? Just go into your post on X a little bit more.
Every time she tried to fix one rumor, another one erupted. Every time her PR team tried to clean something up, something else spiraled out of control. And through it all, Harry looked more and more drained. It became obvious in photos, interviews, and even casual sightings. People online started whispering the same thing. He doesn't look happy. Some called the dynamic controlling, others called it chaotic. A few insisted it was simply fatigue, but the narrative that caught fire the fastest was the idea that Harry looked emotionally worn down by the constant storms swirling around his wife.
Will you take Meghan to be your wife? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and protect her, and forsaking all other, be faithful to her as long as you both shall live?
And when those accusations from online commentators that Meghan is overbearing, calculative, or even narcissistic went viral, Harry didn't defend himself. He didn't push back. He didn't correct anything. He just stayed silent. That silence only fueled more speculation. If he wasn't defending her anymore, what did that mean? Had the pressure finally become too much? Was he regretting the steps he took back in 2020? Was he realizing how far from home he drifted?
For some reason, he left all that for Meghan. And Meghan, who is, in my opinion, a narcissist, is driving him insane.
He's in an abusive relationship.
He's in an abusive relationship, absolutely, Nancy.
People started saying the marriage wasn't just strained, it was breaking him down. And the moment that truly sent these rumors into overdrive was a simple home video. A video Meghan posted, thinking it would make them look strong. Instead, it did the complete opposite. What happened in that clip shocked even longtime supporters, and it became the biggest sign yet that Harry might be emotionally unraveling. The moment that truly ignited the meltdown rumors wasn't an interview. It wasn't an event. It wasn't a statement. It was a 30-second home theater video Meghan posted herself, thinking it would paint them as a sweet, connected couple celebrating a baseball win. But instead, it became one of the biggest red flags people had seen in years. The clip shows Meghan walking into their home theater during the Dodgers game, all smiles, full energy, recording herself as she leans down to kiss Harry. She clearly expected this to be a tender, spontaneous moment, something fans would gush over.
Trying to win over Brits like me and make us just forget, right, that you literally called us all racists in your Netflix documentary for backing Brexit, and that you accused the royal family of also being racist. It's just nuts.
Something wholesome, but the internet didn't see wholesome. They saw something else entirely. Harry didn't look surprised in a happy way. He looked startled, then stiff, then strangely blank. His reaction didn't match Meghan's excitement at all. It was like he wasn't ready to be on camera.
There's a hierarchy of the family. You know, there's leaking, but there's also planting of stories.
There was a war against Meghan to suit other people's agendas.
It's about hatred. It's about race.
It's a dirty game.
And definitely not ready to be broadcast to the world. Viewers immediately noticed the disconnect. Some said he looked exhausted, others said he looked checked out. A few went further and claimed he looked like a man begging for help with his eyes. The clip spread like wildfire. People began asking the same uncomfortable questions. Why did he look so tense? Why did Meghan film it secretly? Did he even know she was planning to post it? Why did his body language scream discomfort? The comments were brutal. Some called it a hostage hug. Others said it looked like he was being put on display. For many viewers, this wasn't a cute moment. It was a warning sign.
You know, the suffering of women marrying into this institution, this feeding frenzy.
a glimpse into a private dynamic that didn't match the picture-perfect PR Meghan had been trying to maintain for years. And most importantly, it added fuel to the growing belief that Harry's emotional state was slipping faster than anyone realized. But if that video lit the match, the next public appearance threw gasoline on the fire.
Of hearts breaking all around the world.
She's becoming a royal rock star.
And then
Because what Harry and Meghan did right after Remembrance Day left even longtime supporters speechless. And that misstep made people wonder if Harry has officially lost control of everything around him, including his own narrative. Right when the Remembrance Day essay had the world dissecting every word Harry wrote, he and Meghan made a move that completely blindsided people. While the royal family was in London honoring veterans with quiet dignity, Harry and Meghan were spotted doing the exact opposite.
I realized they're never going to protect you.
I was terrified. I didn't want history to repeat itself.
They weren't at a memorial. They weren't at a charity event. They weren't even keeping a low profile. They were at Kris Jenner's glitzy James Bond-themed 70th birthday bash, a room full of Hollywood elites, flashing lights, and champagne towers Meghan in full glam. Harry trying to blend in with people who barely know him.
Harry has provoked suspicions he is trying to take attention off his brother Prince William by travelling to Canada to support such causes today, the same day William presents his Earthshot Prize.
Cameras everywhere, A-list chaos in every direction. The contrast couldn't have been harsher. The royal family was in somber black, laying wreaths and honoring the fallen. Harry was photographed at a celebrity-packed party, rubbing shoulders with Oprah, Paris Hilton, Bieber, and every other Hollywood name the tabloids love to chase. Critics didn't hold back. Within hours, headlines called it tone deaf, a PR disaster, a total misread of the moment. Even some of their own supporters admitted it looked bad, really bad. It was the kind of move that made people question Harry's judgment entirely. Was he trying to distract himself? Was he distancing himself from the royal family on purpose? Or was this just another moment where he followed Meghan's lead, even if it meant backlash? To make matters worse, this party came right after their appearance at the Baby 2 Baby Gala, where Meghan presented herself like she was starring in her own comeback era.
Prince Harry's ultimate shame, as he puts the Kardashians before the veterans who he claims to care most about. It was a tale of two contrasting headlines.
Dragging Harry along like a prop in her spotlight, and that only added to the narrative that he wasn't in control anymore, that the lifestyle, the pressure, and the constant need to stay relevant were swallowing him whole. Because while the UK honored its veterans, Harry was being photographed under disco lights in California, and that contrast pushed people toward a much darker conclusion. Harry's judgment is slipping because he's slipping. Some said he looked emotionally scattered. Others believed he was spiraling. A few even questioned whether he understood how bad the optics really were. But the chaos didn't stop there. The next controversy hit even harder because it reopened the most painful wound of all, his broken relationship with Prince William. And what happened next made people swear Harry was unraveling faster than anyone expected. Just when the Hollywood backlash was settling, another storm hit. And this one cut straight into the most fragile relationship in Harry's life, the one with Prince William. For years, people have speculated about tension, resentment, and quiet bitterness between the two brothers. But what happened next made the internet swear Harry was either spiraling or sending a message that nobody could ignore. While Prince William was in Brazil presenting the Earthshot Prize at the Museum of Tomorrow, a major event with global press, world leaders, and environmental innovators, Harry suddenly appeared in Canada, attending a charity engagement on the exact same day. The timing wasn't subtle, it wasn't spaced out, it wasn't even close. It was identical, and instantly, people online started pointing fingers. He's trying to steal William's spotlight again. This is classic Harry chaos. Is he obsessed with competing? Others pushed a calmer explanation. Logistics, scheduling, charity commitments. But the damage was already done. The narrative took off like wildfire. Because this wasn't the first time their appearances coincided. People dug up old timelines, side-by-side dates, overlapping interviews, even podcasts. The pattern became clear online. Whenever William made a major public move, Harry somehow popped up too. But this time, the reaction was different. This wasn't seen as rivalry. This wasn't seen as coincidence. This wasn't seen as strategy. This was seen as instability. Commentators said Harry looked lost, unfocused, and reactive. Journalists called it an error in judgment. One writer even described it as a reminder that the so-called peace between the brothers is paper-thin and breaking. Some fans insisted it was innocent. Others believed Harry was drowning emotionally and grabbing at anything familiar: attention, headlines, relevance. Because when your life starts falling apart, you don't think clearly. You don't plan, you just move. And to many viewers, that's exactly what Harry seemed to be doing. But if anyone thought that was the peak of the chaos, they were wrong. Because the next wave of controversy dug into something far more painful: Harry's collapsing public image, and the rumors that he's emotionally cracking under the weight of it all. If the strained appearances, strange timing, and tense body language were warning signs, the next part of the story felt like a full alarm bell. Because over the last 2 years, Harry and Meghan's once massive public influence has been slipping, and now it's falling apart faster than anyone predicted. The world watched their rise: the glamour, the headlines, the Netflix hype, the Oprah bombshells. Every move they made dominated global news. But now, things look very different. Spotify cut ties, Netflix quietly scaled back their future projects. Archetypes fizzled out after a single season. Their brand that once carried megawatt energy simply stopped moving. Even their major public appearances don't trend anymore. No viral moments, no global buzz, no cultural impact. And this is where the darkest rumors began growing, the kind that say Harry is finally realizing what he gave up and how little he has left to fall back on. When people read his Remembrance Day essay, many didn't see strength or patriotism. They saw longing, they saw regret. They saw a man reaching back toward the only identity he ever felt stable in. Some fans framed it gently, calling him homesick. Others said he looked like a man at his emotional limit. A few went further, claiming this was a sign of a full emotional break behind closed doors, something that insiders and close observers had been quietly hinting at for months. Then came the online avalanche, posts claiming he's not coping, threads insisting he's crumbling under pressure, comments describing his recent behavior as erratic, reactive, and unstable. Even his supporters noticed that his public tone has softened, cracked, even trembled at times. The fiery, rebellious Harry from 2021 is gone. In his place is someone who seems unsure, conflicted, and overwhelmed. And when people started connecting the dots, the essay, the video, the awkward appearances, the tense expressions, the fading relevance, a single narrative took over. Harry is emotionally breaking down. And Meghan's grip on their public image can't hide it anymore. But this story doesn't end with pity. It ends with a looming question, one heavier than anything they've faced before. Has Harry reached the point of no return? Or is this the moment he finally makes the biggest decision of his life? After everything, the essay, the clipped smiles, the mistimed appearances, the fading projects, the Hollywood chaos, the awkward home theater video, one thing has become impossible to ignore. Harry is not the same man he was 7 years ago. The confident prince who once stood tall beside Meghan, ready to take on the world, now looks like someone carrying battles he never prepared for. The choices he made, the bridges he burned, the distance he created, all of it seems to be circling back at once. And for the first time, the cracks are visible to everyone. Some people believe he's dealing with a quiet, internal collapse, something pushed to the edge by years of pressure and constant scrutiny. Others think it's regret, deep, heavy regret. For the life he walked away from, the family he distanced himself from, and the stability he traded for chaos. But the most unsettling theory is the one that keeps resurfacing online. Harry's emotional breaking point wasn't sudden. It's been building, slowly, quietly, and now it's finally breaking through the surface. Is this a meltdown? Is this a desperate cry for help? Or is it the first step towards something bigger, a return no one thought was possible? Insiders hint that Meghan's control over their image isn't working the way it used to. Body language experts say Harry looks more isolated than ever. Fans see a man who wants to go home. Critics see a man unraveling in slow motion. But the truth? Only Harry knows what he's planning. Only Harry knows how far he's fallen. And only Harry knows whether he's ready to face the consequences of the last 7 years. Because if he really is considering a return, if he truly is questioning everything, if this emotional shift is as serious as people think, then what happens next could change everything. For him, for Meghan, and for the royal family he once walked away from. Is this the beginning of Harry's redemption? Or the final proof that the pressure has finally broken him? That answer hasn't revealed itself yet. But one thing's certain. The story isn't over. And whatever comes next will be bigger than anything we've seen so far.